So, a little while ago, Duke Tobin made some comments. He says, I don't want to just pay more money for the same team we had last year. We have other needs. I want to go after those other needs as well. Now, he said this at the very beginning of the whole situation off season, so it's kind of funny now looking back and thinking, like, how much of this roster is exactly last year, but more expensive? And obviously, the elephant in the room, right? You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson's eventually gonna, get a new contract. You got Mike Gesicki, who also got a new contract. We did lose Mike Hilton, but you got a new contract for B.J. Hill. Some of the players did take pay cuts. That's definitely a W. We brought back Cam Sample. We brought back Joseph Asai. Yeah, Joseph Asai. Those guys. We obviously lost King Davis Gaither. So it's like, for the most part, it is very similar to last year, but more expensive. Literally, what he said he did not want to do is exactly the situation that happened. Which, that's just typical with Duke Tobin. Anyway, looking at this, teams with the highest percentage returning to the roster in 2025, the Bengals are currently sitting at number 5 with 79.1% of our roster from last year is returning to this year. And keep in mind, we could still re-sign Mike Hilton. There's still a chance we do that. Really, nobody else, honestly. But Mike Hilton's the only guy I think we would honestly bring back. We're not bringing back Von Bell. Heck no. But yeah, so listen, at the end of the day, it is hard to go into this offseason and not look pretty much the same. At the end of the day, if you look at a roster and, who was free agents, who wasn't free agents, I mean, you're not going to let T. Higgins go, okay? You're not going to let Jamar Chase go. You have to pay those guys. And I'm whiter than sour cream right now for some reason. But you have to pay all these guys, and in the end, I think that might have been like a power type of move by him, saying, hey, listen, like, we're not going to give in to this stuff. We're not going to give in to these demands. Like, we want, not to just pay for the same team, but more expensive. Well, you can want in one hand and crap in the other and see which one fills up fast, because it's not going to change. It's not changing when it comes to that. But what they did a good job on was coaching. And I think that's really something that's going undervalued. So that's something that I think is going to really speak volumes throughout this upcoming season, is how well they upgraded their coaching staff. And again, like I said, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? You're going to be in this kind of situation. He made these comments back during the scouting combine in February. And then weeks later, we signed Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So, and according to a lot of NFL insiders, okay, right now, the speculation is the Bengals will get a contract done with Trey Hendrickson before the season. There's a lot of NFL insiders saying that right now. So, while yes, I know it's ugly, toxic back and forth, I do truly believe it will get done. Because at the end of the day, I think, what's that motto? Something heads prevail. Calmer heads prevail or something. Yeah, so that's kind of how I look at it. Again, like I said, it's just funny to look back at comments, made at the beginning of seasons, and then look at them now and you're like, oh yeah, no, that did not really work out as well. That did not work out as well. As it says here, Tobin and Cincy's personal department were always going to spend more money this year compared to last. The salary cap drastically went up to $279.2 million, and extensions for both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are going to cost a few truckloads of cash. More cash is on the way for Trey if and when the situation gets resolved. And yeah, so don't make comments like this anymore. Don't make comments like this anymore, Duke. You already know how it's going to go. I mean, it's just a bad time to make those comments going into an offseason knowing you're going to have to pay Trey and T and Chase. like knowing you're going to the offseason, like, okay, we're going to have to pay these 3 guys, probably don't make comments about something very similar to this. I don't know. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys next one. Peace.